What if the key to altering the course of a war is hidden beneath the waves? The Crimea Bridge, a critical link between the Russian mainland and Crimea, symbolizes power and dominance. Without this bridge, essential supplies and troops would struggle to reach occupied territories, risking Vladimir Putin's control over Crimea. Imagine the shock of Russian citizens as they begin to flee the peninsula en masse, while Ukraine seizes its golden opportunity to reclaim what was lost in 2014. Ukraine may just have the game-changing weapon it desperately needs, a cutting-edge underwater drone named Toloka. Unleashed publicly on September 21 during the Defense Tech Valley 2025 exhibition, this beast is designed for stealthy, long-range missions, specifically targeting major Russian assets. Reports suggest that while this drone was known for about a year, its true potential was only revealed recently. The Toloka isn't just a single model, it's part of a trio of formidable underwater drones, each equipped for varying tactical roles. The smaller Toloka 200 excels in short-range missions, sporting a 62-mile range powered by dual electric motors. Picture it stealthily deployed from a vessel in the Black Sea, ready to neutralize threats against Ukrainian forces or even conducting reconnaissance. It's capable of autonomous navigation for up to 15 days, with advanced AI ensuring it can avoid electronic warfare countermeasures. But that's just the beginning. There's also the Toloka 400, which boasts a hybrid engine for increased autonomy, able to travel approximately 745 miles and remain operational for up to 2 months. This means Ukraine can strategically position multiple units for a synchronized strike on valuable targets, potentially the very foundations of the Crimea Bridge. Then there's the real powerhouse. The Toloka 1000 stands as the most menacing of the trio, a long-range monstrosity designed for both kamikaze missions and as a drone carrier. Imagine deploying this formidable entity to not only strike at the Crimea Bridge but also to target Russian coastal infrastructure. With a staggering payload of over 11,000 pounds, it could unleash devastation unlike anything seen before. What does this mean for the future of the Black Sea conflict? Will Ukraine successfully harness the power of the Toloka drones to tip the scales in their favor, or will Russia fortify its defenses to counter this underwater invasion? The stakes couldn't be higher, and one question remains: how many lives will change forever as the tides of war shift beneath the waves? Could a silent hunter beneath the waves erase Russia's lifeline? Previously we learned that Ukraine unveiled not one, but 3 underwater drones, the TLK-200, TLK-400, and the monstrous Toloka 1000, each built for a specific purpose. The largest of the family, Toloka 1000, looms as the greatest threat to the Crimea crossing. But first, let's examine its smaller sibling, the TLK-200. The TLK-200 is the tiniest of the trio, as its name suggests. It operates autonomously, driven by 2 electric motors. Imagine a sleek, humming object launched from a Black Sea boat, seeking out Russian vessels or fending off hostile seaborne assaults on the Ukrainian coast. Its reach extends up to 100 kilometers, roughly 62 miles, and its silent propulsion lets it glide for up to 15 days without human input. Such endurance hints at a secondary role, a patrol guardian. While the drone circles the shoreline, it can spot a threat and strike instantly, as if the sea itself were armed. Communication travels via a satellite link, rumored to embed built-in countermeasures against electronic attacks. The exact nature of those defenses remains unclear, but the presence of an AI-enhanced inertial navigation system, or INS, suggests a resilient, AI-fortified guide through hostile waters. Operating depths reach 300 meters, about 984 feet, allowing it to slip beneath surface turbulence. A thermal imager and an optical camera feed the operator with vivid pictures of concealed targets. When the moment arrives, the drone releases a 15-kilogram, 33-pound, explosive charge, enough to cripple an unsuspecting ship. Beyond pure destruction, the TLK-200 can conduct reconnaissance, mapping coastlines, or even lay mines along vulnerable stretches. Its compact size, prolonged stamina, and stealthy approach make it a versatile spear in Ukraine's underwater arsenal. What will happen when this modest hunter joins forces with its larger brothers? Could a coordinated swarm finally sever the bridge that binds Crimea to the mainland? The answer lies beneath the waves, waiting for the next strike. The previous segment introduced the Toloka 200, a remarkable underwater drone that has proven resistant to electronic warfare. It can dive deep, reaching up to 300 meters, or about 984 feet. Equipped with a thermal imager and optical camera, it is perfect for scouting potential threats. The drone can carry a payload of 15 kilograms, or approximately 33 pounds, allowing it to deliver explosive power to unknowing Russian vessels. Its versatility extends beyond direct attacks. It can also be used for reconnaissance missions and laying mines along the Ukrainian coastline. Yet, this impressive drone is just the beginning, as Ukraine has a powerful arsenal it is ready to unveil. Enter the Toloka 400, a game-changer in the underwater drone sphere. This robust middle-tier drone, known as TLK-400, boasts significant upgrades over its smaller sibling. Its larger size permits a heavier payload, making it a formidable threat. Equipped with a hybrid engine, it combines 4 electric motors with an internal combustion engine, presenting unparalleled range and autonomy. With a potential travel distance of about 745 miles, the Toloka 400 can operate for up to 60 days without human control. Imagine deploying this drone to quietly patrol the Black Sea or lying in wait alongside others, ready for a synchronized assault. As with its smaller counterpart, the Toloka 400 maintains a maximum dive depth of 980 feet, with an advanced satellite communication system and an AI-powered inertial navigation system. A significant enhancement here is the Doppler velocity log, or DVL, enabling it to autonomously track its speed. This capability allows it to adjust its velocity as required, enhancing its targeting effectiveness. Furthermore, it carries the same thermal sensors and optical cameras as the Toloka 200. But there's more. It includes passive and active acoustics, plus radio frequency source targeting, culminating in a sophisticated targeting suite. What truly sets the Toloka 400 apart is its formidable size. At a staggering 39 feet in length, it is 4 times bigger than the Toloka 200. This heft allows it to carry a devastating payload of up to 1,100 pounds. Just imagine the destructive capability of such a force. Could this drone be the key to dismantling crucial structures that support the Crimea Bridge? As Ukraine readies this drone for action, the stakes are higher than ever. What could happen next when these drones are unleashed into the depths? Can a silent sea monster really erase the bridge that ties Russia to Crimea? Earlier we saw the Toloka 200's acoustic suite, its radar jamming shield and a payload barely enough to scare a patrol boat. Now the focus shifts to the middle sibling, the Toloka 400. RBC Ukraine measures it at 39 feet long, roughly 4 times its smaller brother. Its bulk translates into a terrifying cargo capacity of 1,100 pounds. Imagine that weight crushing the steel ribs and concrete pillars that support the Kerch crossing. Could Ukraine line up several of these behemoths and unleash a coordinated strike on a single point? The question hangs over the Black Sea like a thick mist, waiting for a decision. If the goal is total devastation, the true monster emerges, the Toloka 1000. Designed for long-range missions, this Leviathan can act as a suicide strike unit or, perhaps, as a carrier for smaller attack drones. The carrier role is still unconfirmed, but the possibility flickers like a distant lighthouse. Its propulsion mirrors the 400's hybrid system, granting it a 60-day autonomous cruise and extending its reach to about 1,240 miles. That range covers the Crimean span and several Russian ports along the Black Sea and Sea of Azov. Picture the drone slipping beneath the waves, its metal hull humming, the water pressure pressing like a deep-sea press, until it reaches a target and detonates. The payload is monstrous, 11,023 pounds of explosives. For perspective, a standard Russian artillery shell carries roughly 13 pounds of explosive. The Toloka 1000 could deliver the equivalent of 820 such shells in a single, focused blow. That isn't just damage, it is outright annihilation of whatever lies in its path. Beyond raw power, the 1000 shares sensors with its siblings, AI-driven inertial navigation, thermal imaging, acoustic arrays, and frequency-hopping communications that dodge electronic interference. One hull version tolerates depths of 300 meters, while a reinforced metal version hugs shallower waters at 30 meters, possibly to protect internal payloads during carrier missions. Its diameter stretches to 4.9 feet, giving it a cavernous interior for the massive charge. All 3 Toloka models glide unseen, silent, armed to the teeth. They pose a fresh threat to Russia's Black Sea Fleet and, most critically, to the Crimean Bridge that symbolizes Moscow's grip on the peninsula. What will happen when this underwater leviathan finally surfaces, and can any force stop a weapon that can travel 1,000 miles beneath the sea and implode a bridge in a single heartbeat? Previously, we learned that the Toloka 1000 might unleash an explosive force 820 times stronger than a single artillery shell. This isn't just theoretical power, it spells possible total annihilation of its target. Now, imagine this underwater giant equipped with cutting-edge technology. The Toloka 1000 shares much of the same tech as its smaller sibling, Toloka 400, but with intriguing upgrades. For instance, it may carry seabed mapping tools, a game-changer for future missions beneath the waves. The drone navigates using inertial networks enhanced by artificial intelligence. Its sensors don't just rely on sight, optic, acoustic, and heat detection systems make it a ghost beneath the sea. To evade interference, it employs frequency-hopping spread-spectrum technology, hopping between multiple radio channels unpredictably, like a shadow slipping through enemy signals. Its design offers a twist: two types of hulls. One, a composite shell, allows it to dive deep, up to 984 feet, matching its Toloka relatives. The other is metal-clad, crafted to operate at a much shallower depth around 98 feet. This armor might protect its precious cargo inside, supporting rumors the drone can carry smaller underwater vehicles or kamikaze drones on secret missions. Though it matches the Toloka 400 in length, its diameter is almost 4 times wider, nearly 5 feet, giving it space for the monstrous payload it carries. Let's pause. Ukraine has unleashed 3 underwater drones that rival entire navies. Silent, deadly, and autonomous, these machines could tip the balance under the Black Sea. The Toloka trio threatens Russia's most critical asset, the Crimea Bridge. And not just that, they spell trouble for the remnants of Russia's Black Sea Fleet. Remember May of this year? Back then, Moscow's pride boasted 132 ships, an intimidating force at war's start. But now? That once mighty fleet is shrinking fast under relentless pressure. Could these new underwater hunters be the final blow to Russia's maritime grip? The waves are swelling, and so is the tension. What is Russia's next move? Will this invisible menace send ripples through the Black Sea's turbulent surface, or drag the Kremlin's ambitions under? The silent predators are ready to strike. And the question looms, how long before the Crimea Bridge falls into history? Previously we saw how Russia's Black Sea Fleet is being whittled down, how its vessels constantly shuffle between ports, and how Ukraine's new underwater menace could change the game. What if the ocean itself became a silent assassin, striking unseen until the hull shudders and breaks? The thought sends a chill through every naval officer who watches the waves. Since the invasion began, UK intelligence estimates that Ukraine has eliminated roughly a quarter of that fleet. The Moscow Times reported the fleet once boasted 132 ships and vessels, now many have fled Sebastopol for Novorossiysk, and summer 2024 saw a marked pullback of Russian activity in the Black Sea. Why has the offensive slowed? Former Ukrainian Navy Deputy Chief of Staff Andriy Ryzhenko told the Moscow Times that Russian commanders rotate their ships constantly, never letting them linger. They have bolstered Novorossiysk with aircraft, helicopters, drones, and patrol boats, while restricting the number of vessels that venture out to sea. Imagine the endless hum of rotors, the metallic scent of fuel, the feel of cold steel against a trembling deck as crews brace for unseen threats. Could Russian defenses have adapted to airborne drones, only to discover a new predator beneath the surface? Enter the Toloka series, underwater drones that glide like phantom sharks, their electronic signatures masked until the instant they unleash their payload. These machines can patrol the Black Sea autonomously for weeks, waiting in the dark like patient hunters. If Russia dares to redeploy any part of its fleet, a Toloka could strike before the crew even registers a splashing ripple. The 2 largest models can operate for up to 60 days without human input, turning the sea into a continuous, invisible danger zone. But why devote such power to a submerged weapon? The answer lies in a single, steel-spanned lifeline. Earlier assaults on the Crimea Bridge have already shown Ukraine's resolve. United 24 Media documented a daring October 2022 raid, where covert operatives placed explosives directly on the bridge's structure. Now, with the Toloka fleet, comprising the TLK-200, TLK-400, and TLK-1000, Ukraine possesses a tool designed specifically to smash that critical artery. The TLK-200, a compact unit powered by twin electric motors, can travel 100 kilometers, linger for 15 days, and carry 15 kilograms of explosives. Its sensors, thermal imagers, optical lenses, feed real-time data to operators, while satellite links, fortified against electronic warfare, keep the drone alive under waves 30 meters to 300 meters deep. What will happen when a swarm of these silent hunters converges on the bridge's support towers, the water roaring around them, the air thick with the metallic taste of impending destruction? The answer remains hidden beneath the surface, waiting for the moment when the first blast shatters the calm. Here's what happened before. Ukraine focused on the Crimea Bridge multiple times, trying to break Russia's lifeline to the peninsula. Back in October 2022, a secret operation targeted the bridge itself. The Security Service of Ukraine, or SBU, only admitted their role almost a year later. According to reports, Ukrainian operatives might have rigged explosives on the bridge, even detonating a truck loaded with bombs. Russia was left stunned. This bold strike forced the closure of the Crimea Bridge, showing Ukraine could hit right at the heart of Russia's critical artery. But how exactly was the attack pulled off? The details remain tightly locked away. The SBU stays silent, protecting the secrets that keep Russia in the dark. Could you imagine the tension, the sense of burning metal, and the jolting shockwaves shaking the air as that truck exploded? The noise must have echoed for miles. Yet, all that power came wrapped in mystery, an invisible hand striking at the core. The next blow came in July 2023 when Ukraine unleashed unmanned surface vessels against the bridge. These remote-controlled boats skimmed across the Black Sea, bearing payloads meant to cripple Russia's hold. The damage was clear, a whole section of the roadway was destroyed. But this strike was more than destruction, it was an opening act. Surface drones can be spotted, tracked, and destroyed, but they paved the way for something far deadlier lurking beneath the waves. Then came August 2023. Ukraine tried a more conventional attack, firing 3 guided missiles known as S-200 at the bridge. The Russian response was swift, smoke screens cloaked the structure and their air defenses destroyed the incoming missiles. These old rockets were simply outmatched and never stood a real chance. At the time, Ukraine lacked access to more advanced long-range weapons that Western nations later authorized. So perhaps this assault was meant as a warning, a way to remind Russia that the bridge was far from safe. Imagine the fiery streaks cutting through smoke-filled skies, the roar of engines fading into a volatile hush as defensive flak ripped into the incoming missiles. Was this show of force a mere message in the wind? Or a precursor to the silent, more devastating assault hidden in Ukraine's arsenal? What comes next could change everything. The surface drones proved vulnerable. The missiles were stopped. But what if Ukraine isn't relying on visible weapons anymore? What if something deadly and unseen rises from the depths of the sea, ready to redefine the war for Crimea forever? In a tense geopolitical landscape, the Crimea Bridge stands as a symbol of Russia's might, precariously linking the Russian mainland to Crimea. This was no ordinary infrastructure. It represented a lifeline for the Kremlin, vital for the transport of troops and supplies during the ongoing conflict with Ukraine. But what if all of that security is hanging by a thread? If this crucial connection were to be severed, would Vladimir Putin's grip on Crimea begin to slip? Picture chaos erupting as Russian citizens flee the occupied peninsula. For Ukraine, this moment may be their golden opportunity to reclaim territory lost in 2014. Now, a formidable weapon has emerged on the horizon, the Toloka underwater drone, crafted for a singular purpose, to obliterate the Crimea Bridge. On September 21, an astonishing revelation emerged from the Defense Tech Valley 2025 exhibition as Ukraine unveiled a nightmarish creation, a stealthy, long-range underwater drone named Toloka. With newfound capabilities, it was designed for operations against pivotal Russian installations. For over a year, whispers surrounded its existence, but the unveiling changed everything. Ukraine not only showed off one Toloka but 3 models, each tailored for distinct missions. Rumors hinted that the largest variant, the Toloka 1000, might hold the key to threatening the bridge itself. But how effective could these drones truly be? The smallest variant, the Toloka 200, boasts remarkable autonomy, powered by dual electric motors. With a range of 100 kilometers, it can be deployed in secret from naval vessels in the Black Sea. Imagine it gliding silently, a predator poised to strike unsuspecting Russian vessels with its payload of 15 kilograms. Equipped with cutting-edge thermal imaging and AI-enhanced navigation, the Toloka 200 could patrol the coast for a fortnight, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash chaos. Could this be a game-changer in Ukraine's defense strategy? And what about the Toloka 400? As the middle sibling of the trio, it signifies an escalation with its ability to carry a staggering 1,100-pound payload. Enhanced by a hybrid engine and advanced targeting systems, this drone offers a strategic advantage, traveling around 745 miles autonomously for 60 days. It's not just a formidable force, it's capable of delivering potentially devastating strikes on the Crimea Bridge's structural integrity. Could Ukraine coordinate several of these drones for a cataclysmic assault? But the ultimate weapon in Ukraine's arsenal is the Toloka 1000, a colossal drone that redefines explosive potential. Designed for long-range missions, it can serve dual purposes, striking from afar while potentially carrying other drones for targeted strikes. With a staggering payload of over 11,000 pounds, a single deployment could unleash destruction comparable to hundreds of artillery shells. Imagine the devastation, a conduit for obliterating not only the Crimea Bridge but also disrupting crucial supply lines across the Black Sea. The Toloka 1000 poses a threat that could send tremors through Russia's military operations. As the narrative unfolds, it's clear that Ukraine has crafted a trio of lethal underwater drones that rival conventional naval forces. Stealthy and autonomous, these Toloka drones could tilt the balance of power against Russia. With the Crimea Bridge vulnerable, the question looms, how long before Ukraine strikes again? Will the next assault be the one that changes the tide of war, leaving devastation in its wake? Or could this be just another chapter in a conflict that refuses to end? The suspense hangs thick in the air, as both nations brace for what could come next. Imagine watching a multi-billion-dollar symbol of power vanish beneath the waves. Could one underwater drone really dismantle Vladimir Putin's iron grip on Crimea? The Crimea Bridge is not just a stretch of concrete and steel, it's the lifeline between Russia and the annexed peninsula. Without it, all military supplies, troops, and equipment fueling Russia's war effort in Ukraine would be severed. Earlier, we uncovered Ukraine's secret weapon, the Toloka drones, sinister underwater machines stalking the Black Sea in silence. Now, we dive deeper into why the colossal Toloka 1000 is set to change everything. Why risk such a massive explosive payload against a bridge, when the mainland battlefields demand attention too? History and strategy answer this chilling question. Back in 2018, Putin's obsession with bridges was apparent. Russia's leader personally championed at least 16 of the country's 25 longest bridges. But none were as grand, nor as politically charged, as the Crimea Bridge. Over 4 painstaking years and $3.7 billion poured into its creation, this behemoth gracefully connected Crimea to Russia's mainland, a dream turned reality for Putin's regime. The noise of rivets hammered into steel still seems to echo through Moscow's halls. Now imagine the smell of burning fuel and twisted metal, the crushing silence after a deafening explosion. This is what the Toloka 1000 could unleash. Should this underwater titan strike, it wouldn't just destroy concrete pillars or asphalt roads, it would decimate a strategic and symbolic shrine Russia holds dear. Some whisper that Russia's economic stability teeters on the edge. The cost of repairs an unthinkable burden, especially as reports swirl about a looming recession. Putin claims any slowdown in growth is intentional, designed to maintain stability, but is this political theater, or denial of hard truths? For Putin, the Crimea Bridge is far more than infrastructure. It's a potent symbol that legitimizes the annexation of Crimea, a physical stamp of power carved into the Black Sea coastline. The memory still burns of the grand opening, Putin himself behind the wheel of a Kamaz truck, leading a parade of lorries across the freshly completed bridge. That moment was a declaration, a message inscribed in steel that Crimea was now inseparably Russian, or so he hoped. But the city streets are whispering a different story now. If the Toloka swarm succeeds in severing this vital artery, it will stunningly unravel years of calculated projection of power. Russia risks losing Crimea's logistical backbone and, with it, a crucial piece of the war effort. The bridge's collapse won't just be a physical disaster, it could be the unraveling of a dream that Putin has guarded with fierce resolve. And what of the Toloka 1000 itself, this underwater leviathan with its shadowy missions and staggering payload? With its ability to roam silently for up to 60 days, striking targets over 1,200 miles away, it's the ultimate predator beneath the waves. Its explosive capacity dwarfs any conventional naval weapon. Imagine the force of over 800 artillery shells packed into a single autonomous vessel, closing in unseen on its prey. But here lies the heart-stopping question: can this machine of destruction claim its prize before Russia mounts a deadly defense? The Black Sea is a chessboard, and this is the next critical move. The Toloka 1000 could bring the Crimea bridge to its knees, delivering a blow Russia may never recover from. Or, it could be swallowed by the depths, a ghost lost in the abyss. What happens next will echo far beyond the waters. Will Putin's monument to conquest crumble, stripping away the myth of permanence? Or will the iron link to Crimea endure, defying the tides of war? The answer depends on whether the silent hunters of the deep can pull off the impossible. The stage is set. The countdown begins. The war beneath the waves is about to change everything. The Crimea Bridge is the lifeline linking the Russian mainland to Crimea. It carries not just soldiers, weapons, and ammunition, it delivers vital fuel and supplies to the hundreds of thousands of Russians who have settled there since the annexation. This steel and concrete giant holds Vladimir Putin's grip on the peninsula tight. Destroying it wouldn't just sever a road or a railway, it could unravel Russia's entire hold on Crimea. Could this be Ukraine's key to reclaiming lost ground? Sea routes might seem like a backup, but they are neither fast nor safe anymore. The waters around Crimea are now patrolled by a new kind of hunter, a stealthy underwater drone, engineered for silent strikes beneath the waves. This drone is known as the Toloka, a name whispered among military circles as a game-changer. It roams the Black Sea depths, ready to choke off Russia's supply lines. But here's the twist: the Toloka's ultimate target might not be the Crimea Bridge at all. What if Ukraine's real plan is to keep the bridge standing? To let Russian forces think they have an escape route when pressure mounts. A calculated chess move, baiting opponents into a corner, before cutting off their last chance to flee. A brutal trap lying in wait beneath the surface. So, what is Ukraine's true strategy? To unleash the Toloka on the bridge, or hold its threat in reserve for a different purpose entirely? The answer could change the course of the conflict in ways few expect. Stay with us as we dive deeper into Ukraine's underwater arsenal and reveal how the silent war beneath the waves may shape the fate of a continent.